Oh, what's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Happy Wednesday. I just want to take this quick break, this coding break. I got some code running in the back. For those people who don't know, I am an engineer by day, a UX engineer by day, but I do love talking hoops. And today we're going to talk about Steve Nash getting fired. Cannot say I am surprised, to be honest. When you start off this off season with Kevin Durant saying it's either me or the coaching staff, and he comes back, you knew something was going to happen with the culture, with the coaching staff. Speaking of culture, there's something looming that's weird. Right now, to be honest with you, a lot of the big three, with Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant, they seem a little too privileged, and they don't have a guy at the helm that could really hold them down. Steve Nash wasn't that guy for them. Obviously, that culture was there before Ben Simmons joined, but it just doesn't look good. So last night, they had Jacques Vaughn as their interim head coach against the Chicago Bulls, and boy, they didn't look good. In the second half, the Bulls just went on great runs. In the fourth quarter, Zach LaVine just supercharged them to like a 20-2 run by himself. Like, he just went ballistic in that fourth quarter. Honestly, I felt like every ball he caught, like outside the perimeter, I was like, oh, that's going in. It's going in. It's going in. He just had the hot hand going into the fourth quarter, and he's performing quite well in the fourth quarter, in his career. It's good to see that he's also coming back into form this season as well. But yeah, Kyrie was not good. Didn't look too good. What else? They got out rebounded. Just no flow in the offense. Nothing was going on. I honestly thought maybe this stuff happening outside, with Steve Nash being fired, might have, held them down. But Kevin Durant played well. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. He's going to give you 30-plus points a game. But yeah, there was just no fluidity in their game. Steve Nash, unfortunate that he went out as their head coach for 3 years. I would say on one side it's pretty unfortunate, and the other side didn't really, solidify himself. Wasn't really assertive. I'm not really sure, but I've never seen with that much talent that would be disengaged. I thought it was very strange. But on the flip side, he was very unfortunate with COVID, guys coming in and out of the lineup due to injury and catching COVID as well, and guy who didn't want to get vaccinated. Didn't really play well, like defensively. They were always like the sub-20s when it came to defense and rebounding. They were top in offense. They were the best offensive team when they had James Harden on the floor with them. They just looked virtually unbeatable. But unfortunately, as basketball fans, we kind of got cheated because those guys weren't on the floor that much, and I think that ultimately led to James Harden being like, "Yo, I'm out. I can't deal with the inconsistency." The culture around this team just also feels very strange to me. The way your top dogs in KD and Kai, I felt like they treated Steve Nash as like the substitute teacher. I just felt like they didn't really respect him that much. I mean, we kind of knew, in the podcast, this summer, the off season, when Steve Nash was going to be their coach, they were just like, well, we feel like we don't really need coaches. We're all coaches of the game, so we can all have like some sort of level-headed conversation when it comes to it. But it's like, no, like when you have a coach, you're gonna have a coach. You need to be coachable no matter how good you are, because when they're on the sidelines, they can see something that you don't when you're on the floor. So I just felt like ultimately they didn't really have that level of respect going in. So now, with all the outside stuff going on, it's just super strange. I mean, now they're thinking of getting Ime Udoka within 48 hours. Press conference before the game started, they asked Sean Marks, like, it's, rumors have heard it that you guys already have a coach in line. He's like, no, we actually don't. We don't have anybody in line right now. It's just a little shaky. I mean, because if they're gonna get Ime Udoka, I mean, that'd be a great pickup for them, honestly. Ime Udoka is going to really get these guys to buy in defensively, get them to play better basketball, better offense, especially the way he shaped up JT and Jaylen Brown. They're top two dogs. And ultimately, they were only 2 games away from winning a championship. So we'll see how that's going to impact them. But again, we don't really know if Ime is going to be the guy because there are other coaches in line that they could potentially get. But it's also kind of strange, like if Ime Udoka is going to get this opportunity because of what ultimately happened in the organization he was in Boston. But I mean, he just got the slap on the wrist, and Boston did say well, they're free. He's free to go anywhere he wants. We're not going to suspend him, even though Boston has suspended him from their organization for a year. They're like, well, you can go anywhere and coach on our watch. We'll just let him go scot-free. So it would be a big steal if the Nets can grab him. What's next? I mean, I just hope the culture of the Brooklyn Nets gets better. I hope it becomes a winning culture organization. I mean, honestly, there's just been a lack of awareness and lack of respect from their top 2 superstars on that team in the off season and during the season. They always seem to find some sort of distraction, and I can't imagine being on that team, because it's it's either the press conference, it's either something that Kyrie mentioned on the internet. It's where Kevin Durant is hanging out in the off season. I just feel like as basketball fans, unfortunately, we have been robbed of what this team could have actually been. Because at one point when they had James Harden, I was scared, man. I just thought this team was just going to run it up and get a couple of chips. But it just didn't happen. So I just hope for Brooklyn's sake that whoever they get as their head coach, there's a winning culture. That's just what we want. We just want some winning basketball from this organization. Best of luck to Steve Nash. I hope he finds another opportunity. Maybe he goes back as a player development coach, where he was at Golden State. I thought he helped the culture for that team. Because, I mean, honestly, that's where ultimately Kevin Durant built that relationship with him when he was playing on Golden State and they got Steve Nash. So it was just kind of weird when he was like, well, stuff happens, this, that, and the third. And it just almost felt like he had no remorse, didn't feel bad, or there was any type of ownership. But you know what? I don't really know what's on his mind, and I hope that he can find a way to lead this team to win games, man. Because right now they're 2-6, and they suck right now. They don't look good. There was just a play where they got a rebound, they pushed the ball to the floor, they gave the ball to Joe Harris. He pulled up. There were no black Brooklyn Net jerseys in the paint when he pulled up for the 3 in transition. What the heck is going on? Just nobody was there. I didn't see Claxton. I didn't see KD. I didn't see Royce. I didn't see nobody in the paint. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I did catch some other games. I caught the Timberwolves versus Suns game. I had a pretty busy day. Couldn't catch all of them. Did watch a couple of highlights. But I did catch the Timberwolves and the Suns. Suns look pretty good. They look like the team to beat right now in the West. They're standing at 6-1. But I mean, they're a great season team, so I'm not really surprised, to be honest. Honestly, not really surprised, but uh, Timberwolves. I really wanted to watch this game because I wanted to see how well they would play defensively, but they got cooked on the perimeter. So just I honestly felt like the Phoenix Suns kind of poked a hole in one of the weaknesses of the Timberwolves. They just got cooked, man. Cam Johnson had so many open looks for three. Like, they were just so much barbecue chicken alerts. Anytime any perimeter guy had a big guy guarding them. So yeah, week two has been great so far. Paul George had a 35-point game winner the other night. It's been looking good. Paolo is. I gotta watch a full game of the Magic, man. Paolo looks like he's one of them guys. Like, he just looks like a beast. Like, he's got the build, he's got the offensive ability. He's one of the most efficient scorers in the league. He's been putting up 20 plus points almost every game so far. Bol, another guy. I mean, he's had his fair share of double doubles right now. I'm happy he's getting minutes. Magic look really good. But yeah, I got to go check more around the league, and yeah, we'll stay tuned for the Brooklyn Nets. See what happens. Until next time.